tuning in to the nation. You guys know how this thing go. Yes, let's roll with this thing. Let's grow. So, we got everybody here in the mix, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to the nation. You guys know how this thing go. One way or another, we got to talk about these Cowboys, and you already know we're 3-5. A lot of people done jumped ship already. A lot of people done gave up. A lot of people thinking that we're going to fold up like week 10s and stuff like that. But it is what it is. We'll play against the filthy Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go ahead and talk, man. I got this guy, my brother from another mother, no other. Don't look like Danny Glover, but keep it cool with us. His name. Go ahead and tell me your name, man.
What's happening, man? It's Vash Lombardi. People seem to call me a draft guru, so I'm doing draft work. Quentin Williams is the best draft prospect this year, so salute to y'all. Follow me on Twitter, Vash Lombardi. Salute.
Yes, indeed. And then I'm talking about every legend.
My brother from another.
Every legend was once a prospect, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell them about that, man. Tell them about the website and all the other stuff that you're doing right now, too.
Yeah, man. Staying busy for sure. Running the website, thedallasprospect.com, your home for all things Dallas sports and pop culture. Although, if I'm being totally honest and a little critical of myself, I can do more pop culture-wise lately. I've been pretty consumed in the Cowboys and Mavericks flow of things, doing several shows a week, probably 6 or 7 total shows a week lately for Mavs and Cowboys. But yeah, staying busy with that, writing for Dallas Sports Fanatic and everything. And just continuing to grind, man.
Yes, indeed, man. That's always a plus, man. Continue to grind and things of that nature. Moving a little bit forward, Botch, man, what do you think about this game coming around the corner, man?
You want to know what I don't like about Cowboy fans, dog?
Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
And Law, you such a genius because you know, man. And you know, when Dez is here, when he's on the football team, and he's not the Dez you want him to be, oh, he's trash. Oh, he's garbage. Oh, well, we ain't going to boy, Dez ain't elevating nobody. But when he leaves, now all of a sudden, the Saints got this chariot to the Super Bowl now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, we let Dez go. And look, chat box, y'all can ask Law. I was not going to come on this show and say much. I was going to sit back and watch Pittsburgh versus Carolina. I was going to be cool. But the more I think about the fair weatherness that our fan base really is, that may be what Jason Peters was talking about, because I don't really care what Jason Peters was, talking about or whatever, but not from a win-loss perspective, but maybe in a we support you now, but we hate you later type of fashion. You know what I mean? That's really what I'm not liking about our fan base. Like, we one big happy family, and I can talk crap about my cousins if I want to. Y'all can't talk crap about my cousins, but I can talk crap about my cousins. Y'all need to stop, dog. Like, I was thinking about this the other day, right? Dak Prescott is the only third-year quarterback that's allowed to look this way. You know what I mean? And Law, me and you kind of touched on that. Matt Ryan in his third year, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Stafford, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, all these Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, all these quarterbacks in their third year, they don't look great. They're not great. They're either led by great teams or great situations, but they're not great on their own. Tom Brady wasn't great till he was 30-something.
Right.
Ben and Aaron, they was 28, 29, 30-something when they really figured this out. But Dak Prescott, who hasn't given us not one losing season yet. I haven't had a losing season with Dak Prescott. All of a sudden, he got to be the savior. Tony Romo was on this 13 years. Cowboys fans tried to bench Tony Romo for John Kitna. I was there.
Right.
John Kitna played the worst team in the league, and he looked good doing it. Now all of a sudden, John Kitna better than Tony Romo. They tried to bench Tony for Kyle Lorton. That goes 13-3. Good riddance, Tony. Good riddance. That go 9-7, which is a winning season. Oh God, Tony, save us, please. Tony, come back. Tony, put down your couple $1,000 CBS jacket, your damn CBS blazer, and come get tackled again. Risk your back. Put your CBS jacket down and risk your back and your spine to come save us. Now we love Tony again. Voch always loved Tony, but now as a whole, the Cowboys, we love Tony again. It's wild to me, bro.
It's crazy. It's what we call fickle, but
it's wild to me. Like if you look at Cowboys fans the past couple of days or so, they've been calling Dak all kinds of trash. Let Dak go on a win streak and take us to the NFC Championship game. What you think they're gonna be saying about Dak Prescott then?
Still, well, he can't win it. He can't win the Super Bowl. You know, it's always something that they're going to bring out. You know,
they'll move the goalpost if it's good, and if it's bad, they'll keep calling for his head. If it's a case of a guy who left and now is elsewhere, like Dez, or even Romo transitioning elsewhere, and then Dak struggling, it's revisionist history. They like to look at it through rosy glasses. Everyone likes to act like Romo was the guy his whole career that we saw in 14. Pretty much just 14. I mean, he was really good in 13 as well, but it was still one of those 8-8 seasons that kind of muddied it. But that's what it is. They look at everything through the lens of 14 and the anticipation of what 15 could have been. And that's just not what the career was.
Yeah. And then people fail to realize when you play football, you play quarterback, when you get hit, it hurts. And several of those games that we watched in 2016 and also in 2017, Tony Romo would not survive those hits. I do know that a lot of people say, well, he get the ball out quick. I look back at that film, I look back at a lot of tape, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, if that brother get hit, he'll be folded up like a pretzel, and then they have to usher Dak Prescott back out there again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the reality of it. I know it don't goes down smooth for a lot of people, and a lot of people looking at other teams, which they always fall into the traps. You know, they always do the comparisons of a Mahomes versus Dak Prescott, or a Tony Romo versus Tom Brady back in those days. It's just, you can't just compare players. It's always different. This league is dependent on the team that you play for. You can't just do the comparison all the time.
No, absolutely, I agree. So let's
time out. DDP, don't say nothing. Time out. So I'm in the chat box right now, right? CT right. Cowboys. But at the end of the day, most real fans don't care for the Saints. Real fans want to see this franchise be coached by a better coach who's more interested in calling plays than being a puppet. Watch this. You love Sean Payton, don't you? Lord, give me that stat that you saw earlier. Give me all them 7 and 9s you saw.
He went 7 and 9, 7 and 9, and 7 and 9. 3 years in a row.
Look. I'm not here to defend Jason Garrett right now because I don't feel like it. Honestly, Jason only had one losing season. Honestly, to be fair,
6 and 10.
I mean, the Sean Payton guy. Tell us, Law. Tell the good people.
Oh, he got multiple losing seasons, especially since 2010 they won the Super Bowl. Then after they won the Super Bowl, they went 7 and 9. And then they went 7 and 9. And then went 11 and 5, 7 and 9, 7 and 9, 7 and 9. So what happened here is that collectively, this fan base, I heard a lot of people say, "Well, he won a Super Bowl." With that rationale, you would think that and say to yourself, "Okay." So that means
one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Shit, I might win it too.
Right, you got Drew Brees, but the rationale of it, yeah. Go ahead, talk to me.
I don't want to step on your toes when I say this.
Talk to me.
This is your show. I wasn't supposed to be here. But you got the best. You got one of the top 3 quarterbacks of all time.
All time.
All them losing seasons with one of the best quarterbacks of all time. We got Tony Romo and Dak Prescott. What are we doing here? I'm sorry, Law. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the rationale, the rebuttal that I murdered him with or killed him with, or if I slap him down with, was they said that, well, he won a Super Bowl, so he deserved to have those up and down years or what have you. With that rationale, with that thinking, with that being said, we should not got rid of Barry Switzer until 2005. if you want to just do the comparable with the numbers, because he won the Super Bowl in 1996. So that means you should give him 97, 98, 99, 90. You know what I mean? 2000, 2001, 2002. And then you say, okay, well, maybe Barry Switzer can turn the corner. I'm not saying that Sean Payton is a horrible coach collectively. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is with this franchise, with this fan base collectively, they will run off a good coach. They will tell a coach, hey, we can't stomach 7-9. Then I do know that somebody else brought up, well, they went 5-11 3 years in a row with this guy, Campo and this sort of thing. But it is what it is.
Jordan K, shouts out to you in the chat box. Thanks for tuning in, sir. If I spend too much time complaining about the 80%, well, they shouldn't be who they are then. They shouldn't be so emotional, so egregiously emotional. Who else gonna do it if I don't?
Right.
Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead.
All right, so this is the thing. Moving into the this weekend game, we hear a lot of things from DDP. We already hear a lot of negativity from ESPN. We hear a lot of negativity from the NFL Network. CBS, Fox. Everybody always talking down on the Cowboys. Everybody already said that the Cowboys going to lose. How far the Eagles are ahead of us right now? Do you know?
If we win this week, we'll be tied with the Eagles record-wise.
Oh, wow. And aren't they the defending Super Bowl champions?
That they are. Yes. And you look at, so we were talking about this little offline. Like if you look at like Kelsey, for instance, in the trash he was talking this week, about how Cowboy fans are bandwagoners and all of that. Like, it makes no sense if you think about it, because it's like we haven't even been in an NFC championship game in over, 23 years now?
A long time.
What the hell bandwagon are we on? Man, we're like, I get it. They've never won a Super Bowl until last year. But to me, this is just projection. Because when you win, when you're suddenly the new shiny toy in the toy box, everyone loves you. Everyone talks about you. ESPN and them fawned over the Eagles after they won the Super Bowl. And now that they're struggling this year, a bunch of those new fans that came in and jumped on that bandwagon, they're frustrated with them not playing better. And so what they're doing, or what he's basically doing in this case, is he's projecting. So when he's calling out Cowboy fans for being bandwagoners and like, yeah, let's see how they do if once we beat them and they keep losing. What are you talking about? We haven't had back-to-back 10-win seasons since 95-96. Like, if there is ever a bandwagon for the Cowboys, this isn't it. You can say that people jump on for like an individual year, maybe. I'm sure there are some fans that are a little disillusioned by the team and come around in years like 14 and 16 when those get going. But it's not near the same thing. It's projection. He's seeing his own fans kind of turning against them after they were so high on them and singing their praises. And so he's projecting that onto us.
Yes, indeed. And then on top of that, the last time we had back-to-back winning season, 06, 07, and also 2016 and 2017.
Yep.
Facts. Botch, what you got, fam?
I could be wrong, but I'm watching this game right now, and Cam Newton has gotten sacked about 5 times. So do you fire Ron Rivera because he's getting sacked 5 times? Okay, look, 26 dropbacks, 6 knockdowns, 11 hits, and 4 sacks. Fire Ron Rivera. The offensive line ain't blocking Pittsburgh Steelers. You got to fire Ron Rivera. That's how Cowboys fans sound to me.
Dirty Ron.
It's more than just the offensive line. Like, it's pretty much every piece is at least a little bit broken or a little out of sync right now. You have Amari Cooper, who's creating good separation, at least from the one game we saw, was creating fantastic separation. Mm-hmm. But for the most part on the year, there were certainly stretches where the receivers couldn't get much separation. The offensive line's not protecting Dak, although Dak's not always doing them favors in the case of his fumble, where he held onto the ball for about 5 seconds and refused to go down because he was so hell-bent on making a play. He coughs it up. 2 plays later, it's another touchdown, and the game is basically out of reach last week. So you got the receivers. The running back's not able to get a whole lot going because the offensive line's not winning up front as well. Quarterback play hasn't been great. The interception was bad. As I said, his fumble was bad. I think some of the play calling has also been troubling as well. The second and goal from the 5 or 6, just even the play call was a little confusing in that regard. I just think you can look at any part. Nothing is totally 100% broken to me, but there are so many pieces that are just completely off and out of sync that I think is just killing this team right now. They don't look like a team who's had 8 games. I would think that looking at this team, this is a team in week 1 or 2 of the season with how out of sync they look.
I think the offensive line,
except the defense, which had been good until last week.
I think the offensive line fixes all of this. And Jordan K says that we shouldn't give the 80% all this attention. You're right, Jordan K. I apologize. So I think the offensive line fixes all this. When I watch film every Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when it comes out, and Law's been there a few times, I'm tired of Dak throwing off his back foot, man. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of Zeke running into people like without people even touching them. If you go watch my show, man, it's two things you got to do to run zone. You got to move a gap. You got to block the mic. And you can pull your daggum notepad out, because I'm not gonna cuss on your show. I'm not gonna cuss on Cowboys XP show. You can pull your notepad out. Every time we blocked the mic, we ran for 4, 5, 6 yards. Every time we didn't block the mic, 1, 0, negative yards.
Yes,
offensive line fixes all of this. When you watch Pat Mahomes play, when you watch Aaron Rodgers play, those quarterbacks are at a certain talent level. They can throw off their back foot. They got arm talent. They can run and stumble and shovel pass perfectly, and they can make they can make passes that way. Dak ain't that dude. Or at least he's not that dude right now. I don't know if he's gonna be that dude. I don't know the future. That ain't me. But Dak ain't that dude. So if you the offensive line with all this clout, supposed to be one of the best offensive lines in the league, if Dak needs 4 seconds to throw the ball, give him 4. Aaron Rodgers can't.
That's asking a lot. That's higher than the league average.
Hey, who cares? Who cares?
I'm just saying, you give 4 seconds.
You know what? Because watch this. If you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you asking a lot to win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. But you do what you got to do. The defense steps up, and they play better. Offensive line steps up, they play better. Jay knees don't hurt anymore. We go from there. You know what I mean? Yes, so, and let me just make this one last point. Let me leave, right? And Jordan K., I'm not going to say nothing else about the 80% after I say this. We look at the offensive line and how bad they're playing, and we say it's the coach's fault. But we don't blame coaching on how good the defense is playing. You know what I mean? We just get real selective with who we point our fingers to. You know what I mean? So in my brain, it comes down to the players, player execution. I need my offensive line to play better. You know what I mean? You just can't say the coaches don't have the team ready to play. Defense look good.
Let me break this part down. And you made a great point on a lot of those things there. All off season, I was talking about the core on both sides of the ball. I said we must focus on the core. And then all of a sudden, Travis Frederick, may God bless his health, he got snapped up, and we got Looney in there. Looney is doing a serviceable job. But remember this, Botch, what I said. The second hardest position to learn in the NFL is the what? The center position. Yep. You played it. And then also the third hardest position to learn in the NFL and play in the NFL is the tight end. And the reason why is the tight end is the extension of the offensive line, that front 5. So this is the thing. Now you move Jason Witten out there, who's like an all-pro, seasoned veteran guy. Preparation is everything. People fall asleep on preparation. And you remove the communicator out of there, which is the center. The center is the communicator. You might as well move that C and put communications in there, because now what the center does is he calls out a lot of things. He make a lot of shifts and adjustments. You don't have that no more. You don't have Travis Frederick calling out things and moving blocks and stuff like that. And then you have a rookie to the left of him. And, of course, you have Zach Martin. I heard him say in the interview, Travis Frederick was saying, well, Zach Martin knows everything about that offense on their front 5. But the problem is for him to relay that over to Tyron, that's a long journey, bruh. That's a long journey. These are not me making excuses, but these are just facts. These are just facts. What's the young quarterback best friend? A tight end, right? Protection. Protection, tight end. Yeah, those type of things. And if you don't have that trust, it takes 1,000 years to build trust, 1 second to lose it. The best place to throw that ball at is inside the pocket. Dak Prescott get happy feet. He runs. He sees ghosts. He's running out of the pocket. He holds on to the ball too long, and then he throws the ball or he fumbles the ball away. Dak Prescott passes. You see those passes off his back foot. He don't regather himself and set his feet to throw the ball down the field. So we seeing right now a horrible situation. One can argue the fact that, yes, it could be quarterback coaching too. You know, it takes time for that development and that type of experience to develop too as well. If you look at it from here, I know I'm long-winded with this, but if you can, guys, those that's in the chat box, you can go look up the Green Bay Packers quarterback coach. 15 years of experience. The Patriots quarterback coach. 10 years or 15 years of experience as well. These guys are natural throwers and better players of the ball. Say again?
Are you talking like active player? Like they are? I'm guessing the comparison is to Kellen Moore, how he didn't really ever play actively, right?
Well, I'm talking about actively coaching, experience as quarterback coaching. Now, I'm not trying to throw, I'm not trying to throw Kellen Moore under the bus because he may know more than quarterback than I will ever know. But what I'm saying is there's going to be some type of learning curve to go with that. Mm-hmm. That's just the bottom line. I love the aspect that he's coaching, but maybe 10 to 15 years from now, Kellen Moore can be the best thing since sliced bread. But he's got to go through that learning experience, and this is it's just how it looks right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I thought you were going down the path of saying like you have a backup who's now the quarterback coach. He never really did it, so how can he be good at it?
Yeah,
and you just look at the Eagles coach for that. He never played, and he was able to spin magic as well. So, although
he comes from a different cloth. He comes from like that the Holmgren system. Beyond that, Andy Reid, they came from that. I want to say whoever the 49er Bill Walsh system. They come from there because of course they merged and went over to the Green Bay, and he's been in there for a minute. What's this coach name for the Filthy?
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson, he been coaching for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look at the matchup itself for this week then. So
go ahead.
Obviously, they're going to Philadelphia. If they win and Redskins lose, they get back within a game, I believe. So as far as how the teams match up and everything, offensively, it's pretty. I mean, the Eagles are 15th in the NFL, 366 yards a game. Cowboys' offense is rated 27th at 317 yards a game. Again, we've only had one game with Amari Cooper. It showed promise in the first 3 drives this past Monday before fizzling out. I'm hoping that he can continue to open things up and that'll make things a little bit easier on Zeke as far as not having to run so much against a stacked box. What baffled me in this last game was that you didn't see Cole Beasley get targeted for the first time until like 4:32 left. And, Zeke's last carry, and I mentioned this on Monday's show as well, it came with like 3 minutes and change in the third quarter left. And it was a one-possession game then. So, I mean, some of the things they're going to have to adjust isn't just working him back into it and trying to get the ball to Amari Cooper as much as possible. They have to go find what's working and work with that some more. Something that Dak has done very well in his career that they haven't done much of lately has been play action passes. I think they only had 4 or 5 play action passes last week. So I don't know what that is as far as the consistency there, but they're going to have to find something that works and go to it. And if that does mean going to Cooper early and often, go for it. You got a new weapon to work with. So the offense hasn't had many of those this year.
No, they didn't. And hopefully this game coming around that they can pick those things up. Vach, do you have any thoughts about the matchup for this week?
Man, we should beat the heck out of it. Man, look, man, people want me to come on this thing and be objective. Man, I'm a Cowboys fan, dog. I'm gonna be objective. We're gonna smack the heck out the Eagles. Because I ain't trying to cuss on Cowboy XP channel. I mean, they can play. Zach Ertz could be a problem. I ain't really scared of their receivers. I mean, we already saw Golden Tate this year. The type of receiver I would feel most nervous about would be like a Nelson Aguilar. Like he's not their best guy, but his type of receiver is what I would be worried about. But these big body cats, I ain't worried about them. We already ran into Golden Tate. He already hit us for a touchdown this year. So we keep him in check or whatever. But
Buck 30 and 2 touchdowns at the Lions game we went to.
I apologize, my bad. I'm not numbers guy, but the Philly offensive line don't really scare me in that way. The D line don't scare me, but we gotta block them. You know what I mean? It's just we just gotta block them. But I'm not scared of them. Whatever. We'll beat that out.
No doubt, no doubt. So Alshon is going to be pretty much locked up with Byron Jones, and then on top of that, I think that Golden Tate. I don't know how he picked up the offenses. I don't know if he picked it up any faster or slow, what have you. So maybe they kick him still inside.
I just think whoever's on the left side plays Byron. Whoever's on the right side is going to play Cheeto.
Cheeto.
How are you thinking or feeling about Cheeto lately, Vach, just with his struggles? I mean, I know a lot of these passes, we were commenting on it in the Lions game in particular, where it was just, in that case, Stafford just dropping dimes against him. But it is kind of staggering, the completion percentage against him and some of the stats.
I hate stats, so my bad. But, I mean, they just not throwing at Byron. You know what I mean?
that does help, certainly. He has more.
They just throwing it at him.
Face, yeah.
So so of course when the numbers inflate, all the numbers inflate. So it is what it is on that. But I ain't worried about Cheeto. Nah.
Cheeto, my brother from another mother. He's been close but no cigar guy.
Tell you what. Know something that'll help Cheeto?
What's
we
that?
can get pressure on the quarterback.
Get pressure on the quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? Although I like the press man cover, corners, what have you, I think that now I'm looking at it more so maybe you can flop that or switch that around and make Jordan Lewis play on the outside, squeeze Cheeto in as the inside nickel guy.
I would want to fire Cheeto. Oh, my God.
Hey, let Cheeto play off the ball. Let him play not too much close on the line until he get it. I think he's still battling that ankle injury, to be honest with you. I know I ain't trying to reach. That's my guy, man. Come on, man.
You know me, Law. Law, you know me.
But one thing I do want, I want to see Xavier Woods, believe it or not. If y'all want some contrast out here, I want to see Xavier Woods take a little bit better angles as he tackling and come down into the box and hit those guys better. If y'all want me to be objective a little bit,
Law, you know me.
Yes, indeed.
But Pittsburgh scored again on Carolina.
What's the score, man? Update me.
Like 44-14.
44-14. Eesh.
I got Panthers on my fantasy team, man. Come on now.
All right, so I think that so far the Eagles, they've been struggling against the run, believe it or not. So maybe this can be one of those games where it's the second week that Mark Colombo is taking full range of this offensive line, and they're going to do more of a zone look of everything and zone power scheme. And maybe we'll see a little bit burst out of Ezekiel Elliott, and they stick with the run. What do you think about that, DDP?
Run that back, you cut out a little bit on my end.
I was saying that the fact that the Eagles, they've been struggling against the run. Like the
run defense?
Yeah, run defense. Mm-hmm. And I was saying that this is the second week with
the Eagles are actually overall very good against the run from what I'm seeing. They're second in the NFL in yards per game allowed.
Will you stop looking at stats, DDP?
I'm the stat guy, Vach.
You're looking at numbers, man.
You got your spot, I got my spot.
Nothing.
Yes,
you got your
indeed.
niche, I got mine. But no, the Eagles are a stout defensive line up front. I mean, they're allowing 83 rushing yards a game. New Orleans is just a notch above them, but I mean that's something you do have to consider in that regard. Obviously, if you take care of your business, it doesn't matter. We saw that this past Monday in the case of Dallas, at the time #1 defense in terms of total defense against the 30th ranked offense of the Titans. Titans, instead of the 17 Dallas was allowing, they got 28. Dallas's goal line defense, which had been so stout in the several weeks leading up to it, gave up 4 trips, 4 touchdowns. So, I mean, you can go across the board. 7 of 11 or 9 of 11, I think it was 9 of 11, I believe 11 of 14. I'm pulling numbers out. 11 of 14 is what the Titans went on third down, I believe, in that game as well. So, yes, Butch, to your point, numbers don't mean everything. They can give you a general basis, but sometimes it's how it matches up. Sometimes it's just what happens on any given Sunday, or in the case of this most recent example, a Monday. sometimes you just have to see how it works. Games don't always flow that way, but for me, that's how I set up at least a baseline kind of to work off of.
Yeah, because 11-14, I don't think that the Titans going to do that again this year.
Probably not. And they had lost three straight. They had lost 3 straight and scored 31 total points in the 3 games preceding, and then put 28 on us on the road. So, again, maybe that's an aberration at just the worst possible time. But I don't know. It did not play out the way it looked like it should have.
Yes, indeed. And then if we look at the Eagles too, the teams that they played, how often do they run and this sort of thing. And most teams are pass friendly. Most teams try to pass or what have you in this modern day, I guess, football society. But we'll see though. Like you said, they do have a stout front four, and they do have some British grindish type of linebackers too. So we will see whether or not what we can do in this sort of thing. Did you ever get in contact with Big Game James, DDP?
I think he needs us to call the loop of men, but we got to figure out how we're going to do that with us already on for how this proceeded is.
Go again. Gee.
The Steelers going to score again?
Panthers just whiffed the kickoff, I believe, and Pittsburgh got it back within the 10. So,
dang, what quarter it is, man?
Third. 10 seconds.
Wow. So that helped us out, actually. We can win out, right? I just play.
If we can win 2 in a row.
Yeah,
we've got to win the division.
Or a road game.
I ain't up here looking for help. I don't want Carolina to lose 6 in a row, or something crazy to happen to Seattle. We just got to be the best team in our division, and we'll go from there.
Yes, indeed, man. And this division right here, this game means everything for that. So right now, the Eagles got the momentum. They already talking noise. They 4-4, like you said earlier, DDP. And if we can go in and just, I think for sure that this team at least going to compete. We've been in it every game besides the last game. Of course, that was the first game we lost by those amount of points, I believe. Is that correct? 28-14. That was the largest margin.
That was our biggest point differential, I think, loss.
Right, and that could be neither here nor there because, and I do know that every time I bring this up, people say, "Okay, hey, wait a minute, you only looking at it from the Cowboys angle." That first interception that Dak Prescott threw, there was a hold on the play. You can go to DallasCowboys.com. I didn't say it. Brian Browder said it, and he pulled out the tape and he showed everybody what happened to Amari Cooper on that play. He was held. So if you minus that play, and then if you listen to Mickey Spagnola, he was saying the fact that the whistle clearly was blown while Dak Prescott was got the fumble. So these are not me creating excuses for Dak Prescott. Of course, he got to be a better protector of the ball and not give the ball away. But football is a game of inches. Go ahead, talk to me, man.
This your show, man. You can make all these people you want. If they clicked on the link to hear what you got to say, fam. Look, people ask me, Vach, what you think about this? This is what I think about this. Oh, you making excuses. You ask me.
Hey, what do you think about the sky? Why is it blue? Well, because of this. And they say, oh, man, you making excuses why the sky blue, right?
It's orange. No, it's not orange. Yes, it is. You asked me. Get out of here.
Boy, man, I love it, man. All right, so with that being said, man, do you have anything else, Vach, you want to lament or talk about before we wrap this thing up?
It's never fun being at the bottom of a dog pile. You jump on the fumble and everybody jump on with you. That ain't fun. That ain't fun. It's just people punching you in the ribs at the bottom of the pile. They putting their finger in your ear hole. They poke you in the eye, trying to get that fumble from you. Nobody likes that. That's not fun. But Cowboy wise, I don't have nothing to say, man. We just gotta line up and play. Tell you what, man. If Connor Williams does not play, I would love to see Leal left guard. I would love to see how unselfish he could be and go back to his old spot and I guess let Cam play right tackle until, Connor comes back. I tell you what, Leal is one real good left guard game away from it being some pressure for real, because if he's amazing at left guard, you got a decision to make, partner.
Bruh, let me tell you, man, he's a better left guard regardless. Like you said, yeah.
I agree.
From the tape we saw, but he only played, 2 seasons there, and he was on IR for most of one of them. He was converted left tackle in college. I don't get me wrong. The tape definitely showed he was better at left guard, and I wanted him to move back to guard. I'm just asking, are we putting too much of an assumption that he will be immediately good if you plug him back in there? Between how long it's been and how little he played there in terms of
what was his rookie year? What year was that?
I'll tell you what, DDP, by the numbers that I'm looking at right now.
I thought you were a numbers guy.
By the numbers that I'm looking at right now, I would much rather have Leal at left guard than right tackle. Like, I was fine with him at right tackle based on what I saw from him last year. He blocked Khalil Mack pretty well last year. He did well with Von Miller, Ryan Kerrigan last year. Vic Beasley. I'm like, why not keep him at right tackle? He does it well, but he ain't doing it well this year.
No, he's not.
I just can't, make that proclamation off one game. It takes me a while to, pull some evidence. It's been a couple games now, so let's put him back at guard where we know he can play, where he mauls people, where he gets out in space and he makes highlight tapes.
Yeah. But that still, to me, feels like, maybe now it's a necessity because of the Connor Williams injury, but do you feel that might be something that they have to evaluate in the offseason? What would you do? Would you flip Williams then to right tackle at that point? Because it feels like he'd have to put on some more size to be a good right tackle. I think he's a little undersized as a guard this year.
Connor is going through the same size issues that that Tyron and Travis went through.
Right.
Zach was already a big boy when he got here. But so whenever Connor gets his sandwich and his dumbbells and he, grows into his man body or whatever, then he'll play wherever we ask him to play. In my honest opinion, I thought off the rip he was going to be a tackle of the future. Like, he's left guard now. But man, I don't know how much longer.
Vach, you gotta love Connor's lateral movement, his quick twitch and his hips, man. The way he can get off his stand is great.
It's great. Go watch my film session.
Those are all tackles, techniques, and traits.
I'm just saying this because I don't know how much longer Tyron Smith got.
Yeah,
right.
Honestly, like, if his back hurt, like, he may not make it to play 35. He may retire at 31. There's a lot of players that do it, So Connor might be that guy. Tyron did it. He was a right tackle first, and he moved left. Doug Free did it. We move guys around all the time. So, Flozell moved around, man. So, it's bound to happen. We'll see.
Yes, indeed. And Tyron, I was looking at some old films earlier today, and he was getting his lunch money taken from him when he was playing right tackle.
People don't understand. Tyron wasn't always a good pass blocking guy. When he was in USC, he was actually a great run blocker and he had great size, but we had to teach him how to pass block. He just became good at it. So yeah, takes time.
Yes, indeed.
People get spoiled when they see these rookies come in, they want to do great. So when they see their rookies and they're not doing great, they go, "Oh, this rookie's a bust." Nah, these are grown men that's been doing this for 9 years going against them. Like, let him grow up first. Let him get his man body first.
And then O-line is a hard position to learn, man. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Now, of course, defensive end, if they can run and chase and they can get a couple sacks, everybody bypass like the things where they got ate up and beat up at. But O-line is a hard position to learn, and it's a hard position to just come out and be like the Travis Fredericks of the world and the Zach Martins. It's just, we've been spoiled with those two.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Shout out to Antoine Mayers, man, for making a donation earlier today, man. He says, Dak just hold on to the ball too long. And then shout out to Space Cowboys as well. He said, Vach, he want to know your opinion on Garrett the Clappering.
You tell Space Cowboy. Listen,
and then he say, just kidding.
Do you think Dak would hold the ball long if he saw people open? Do we think that he sees open people, but he's holding the ball just to hold it? You know what I mean? Like, he does miss some people. Like, I get that. But he normally misses people after, like, he moves on to another read. Like, that goes from read to read, like, quickly. You know what I mean?
I think he's feeling rushed because of the line not trusting it as much these days.
And then also, this is what also I saw on tape with Dak Prescott. When he do get a chance to roll out or what have you, he just never regather his feet or set his feet to make the throw. It's good that he roll out and then he keep on rolling out to the opposite side. He rolls out to his left. He rolls out to the Tyron Smith side. Brother, just roll out to the other side sometime. Roll out to the right.
I just want my offensive line to play better, man. Like, I promise, if the line played better, all this other conversation go away. Is James Conner hurt? Oh, well, look like James Conner hurt.
Oh wow.
Maybe I'm better. If the offensive line played better, all this Dak Zeke conversation goes away. I promise.
No doubt, man. Yes, indeed. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much this deal here. DDP, any closing remarks?
I'm interested to see, in particular for this week, how Amari Cooper can help the Cowboys put some points on the board. We know that they had a lot of empty possessions last week, failed trips down the field, whether it was the 38-yard missed field goal from Brett Maher, his third miss on the year, second straight, or if it was, Dak throwing the unfortunate pick in the back of the end zone. You should have been up at least 13, if not 17, and instead you found yourself quickly in a 7-7 game. So I'm curious to see how Amari Cooper, with another week working with him, can kind of help in this case, because the Eagles, Butch, I know you hate me citing any kind of numbers. The Eagles secondary is 25th in the league. Yeah, so that's favorable. Cowboys, this is one of those things where numbers don't tell everything. Cowboys secondary, although it allows, I think, the second or third highest completion rate, they're still the 5th rated secondary with regard to pass defense overall. So something to take advantage of maybe there for against the Eagles secondary. It looks like they can be had, and now you have a guy that you think can, assert his will on the game and make some big plays for you. So I'm very curious to see how that matches up.
No doubt, man. I'm very interested in that too. Hopefully we can get, the ball out to Amari Cooper and exploit those mismatches there. Guys, we do have Cowboys Experience. That's www.cowboysexperience. Go there if you're looking to get to the game. If you have never been to the game before, click on that link. They got some exciting prices for you guys. And also, with that being said, you get a chance to stay at the Embassy Suites and also get a chance to have concierge or escort services to get you over to the game and see some real players and things like that. Go check out that website. And Vach, tell them where they can find you too, man. I need to bring that up, man. I see you up in there.
They can find me on Vach Lombardi on YouTube, Vach Lombardi on Twitter, Vach Lombardi on Facebook for all your film related questions. If you have this notion and you want to prove it true or false, I put all the games on the screen and I don't hide nothing from you. VOCHLOMBARDI.
Yes, indeed. So those who are right now on Vach Lombardi's Facebook page, we are live right now on his page. Don't forget to hit that share button, like the content, and subscribe. And it's going to be a pleasure watching his film and things of that nature. DDP, man, tell them about the things you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So check out my work. I'm the staff writer for the Cowboys and Mavericks on DallasSportsFanatic.com. So pretty much every week I'm putting out an article for both of those teams. I actually had a good tear lately where several of them keep getting picked up and put on Bleacher Report. So that's pretty cool. But other than that, man, just working on the site, working on the channel, TheDallasProspect.com. Follow us on social media. If it's Twitter at Dallas Prospect, everywhere else, just The Dallas Prospect, you'll find it. And we're just trying to grow this thing, man. Let's keep working at it.
Yes, let's grow this thing. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat box. Shout out to Miss Scouting Pro.
Hey, Miss Scouting Pro.
Yeah, she in the mix. Space Cowboys 17 Chief. I see you over there. And Big Game James, he was trying to get on today. For those, we are live on his page. I apologize that I'm not able to read your comments, but I appreciate you guys. Give that brother a like and a share and comment. And I will try to jump in after the show is over with to read those wonderful and beautiful comments. And with that being said, especially those Kerry Teagle, Jamal Anderson, Arturo, all of you guys is live on my Facebook page. Appreciate you, man. You know I got strong love and adulations for you guys. And that's all the time we have for this wonderful, beautiful night. Go Cowboys. I'm going to put the score prediction. Nah, I ain't going to do that. I'm not going to do that. No more score prediction for me, man.
No more. I'm not
going to do no more. All I can say is this right here. When a team is down like we are right now, Cowboys always just surprise us all, right, in certain factors. So hopefully it can be one of those nights. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. That's all the time we have for this wonderful night. I'm Law Nation, Vaj Lombardi, DDP. And remember, every legend was once a prospect, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And also, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. We're out.
Woski, woski.
Yeah. Yes.
Adulation.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
James is watching along.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Shout out to James, Big Game James, and things. Salute.